Dzień dobry, and today I'm in Warsaw for the Orszak Króli, a public epiphany procession that brings one of Poland's oldest traditions into the modern city. It commemorates the journey of the three wise men, but it's also about something broader, faith expressed openly, community gathering in the middle of winter, and a culture that isn't afraid to carry its history through the streets. Whether you approach it as a religious event or a cultural tradition, or simply where the city pauses together, the scale and atmosphere here in Warsaw are something quite special. And given it's about minus 10 degrees today, fair play to all those that are coming out. As you can see, I have my hat and I'm just waiting for my friends. It's always fun. This is a really fun festival and I hope you enjoy.
Dzień dobry and welcome to A Brit in Poland. With this channel, I travel across the country, I bring you the culture, and I show you just how amazing Poland is. So I invite you on my journey. If you want to see more, I have Facebook and Instagram profiles, which you will find links to in the description below. And if you want to really help out, you can turn to my Patreon or Patronite accounts, again in the description. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy this video. Please like, share and subscribe. Do zobaczenia. Today is the 6th of January, known in the Christian calendar as Epiphany. And in Poland, it is a national public holiday. On this day, cities and towns across the country host the Orszak Króli, or Three Kings Parade, commemorating the journey of the three wise men to Bethlehem. Although the story it draws from is ancient, the modern form of this parade is surprisingly recent. It grew rapidly after Epiphany was restored as a public holiday in 2011, and today it takes place in hundreds of locations across Poland, marking it as one of the largest public Epiphany celebrations anywhere in the world. Many of the participants dressed in white represent angels, figures of guidance and protection within the Epiphany story. Traditionally, angels accompany the journey of the kings, symbolizing divine direction and reassurance along the road. Their presence adds a sense of calm and light, contrasting with the noise and movement of the city around them. Tradition holds that Caspar brought frankincense from the east, Melchior offered gold from the lands of Europe, and Balthazar carried myrrh from Africa, gifts that together symbolize divinity, kingship, and morality. Now, the parade is structured as a journey. Participants follow the three kings. So you start with Europe, then go to Asia, and then end with Africa, as they travel through the city guided by the Star of Bethlehem. Each of the kings carries a symbolic gift: gold representing kingship, frankincense representing divinity, and myrrh, a reminder of morality and sacrifice. Together, these gifts reflect the layered meaning of the Epiphany story, which combines celebration with prophecy. And some groups, well, they will wear Roman-style armor, anchoring the story in its historical setting. The Epiphany narrative unfolds within the Roman world of the 1st century, and these figures serve as a reminder that the story exists not only in faith, but also within a specific historical context. And along the route, the parade introduces theatrical figures drawn from centuries-old Christian traditions. Angels representing guidance and light, darker figures symbolize temptation, chaos, and the obstacles encountered along the journey. These contrasts are intentional. They reflect an older form of public storytelling, where moral and spiritual ideas were expressed visually through costume and movement in the shared space of the city. You will see a few animals during this, such as camels and donkeys, which represent the long journey undertaken by the wise men. In the tradition, these are not symbols of grandeur, but of endurance, reminding viewers that the story is about travel, patience, and perseverance, rather than spectacle alone. And we will soon get to the Chinese dragons, which are especially interesting and very Polish in its interpretation, because occasionally the parade includes elements drawn from outside European traditions, such as the Chinese dragons. These represent the idea that the Epiphany story is universal, that the search for meaning and truth extends beyond one culture or continent. And the wise men themselves are often described as coming from distant lands, making these global references surprisingly fitting. And you have different sections of the parade, often representing symbolic kingdoms or regions with variations in colour, costume and music. While Warsaw hosts one of the largest parades, similar processions take place simultaneously across the country, turning Epiphany into a shared national moment. And what's striking is how public and communal the celebration is, with families, schools, choirs, and volunteers all take part, transforming central streets into a moving stage. You even have members from the armed forces they're not there to necessarily protect the parade, but they do enforce the ropes that keep the space for the participants. And I've been to this particular parade 3 times now, and I've got footage from a couple of the events here. Most of the footage is from the most recent event, but it's interesting how sometimes you get a few varieties in the costumes between years, and you get different animals represented. I'm yet to see a real camel on the parade, though I wouldn't be surprised if one of these years you'll see one. I'm pretty sure they have some in the zoo. But there was a real donkey this year that was quite fun. And what you see, are the people are really enjoying it. You never really see people complaining. When the crowds get a bit heavy, sometimes people are fighting a bit to be able to take their shots or to get a good view. And most people tend to show up pretty much when the parade starts. So the parade, it starts down by the statue of Nicholas Copernicus in Warsaw, and it goes up to the castle square. And when I first got there, I was thinking, oh, okay, for a change, it doesn't seem too crowded. But then suddenly the people poured in. The parade traditionally starts at about 11:45, and it goes on for maybe an hour or two in the coldest of conditions. Trolley effect, so they didn't do this year. It's interesting, they had most of the kings walking on foot rather than being paraded so much in the recent spectacle. But once people have stayed to watch the parade go by, then you have the inevitable shifting mass trying to catch up with the parade as it gets towards those dark figures, which I missed the chance to get the best shot of them. Those are the disruptors of chaos. And when you get to the end, you have this big spectacle. Because basically, as the procession reaches its destination, the journey comes to an end, and the 3 kings, they present their gifts, completing the narratives that began with departure and uncertainty. And rather than ending with the spectacle alone, the parade closes with a sense of fulfillment. The journey completed, the story resolved, and tradition carried into the present moment. Now, this is where the crowds get really dense, and you can see that they put on a bit of a show. They had the screen this year, which I'm not sure I've seen in previous years. And you have, Mary, Joseph, and Jesus on the stage, being with the respective wise men going up and presenting their gifts. And what you have is, after the wise men have presented their gifts, you get a bit of singing, first from Mary, then from the respective wise men. And yeah, I definitely heard Gloria way too much. I'm sure there were other songs sung along the way, and actually, if you get there early and you get given your crown, which is covered in sponsorship on the inside, but you also get given a prayer book with all the prayers in Polish. Everything is, of course, in Polish, even though it's technically an international event. But it's one of those things that I really like about Poland, the fact that they preserve this tradition, the fact that we get a day off work, and you don't have to go and see the parade, but it's something cool, something colourful, and something with a lot of creativity and imagination that's gone into it. So I really do recommend it if you're in Poland to look out for one of these. 6th of January, just put that date in your calendar. And yeah, it's really cool. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this informative and I hope you've enjoyed the parade. Please stay tuned for more Polish customs, culture and travel. Thank you very much. Do zobaczenia. See you soon.